This is another beautiful day right here, and this is that time of the day where we bring you to speed with things happening from the world of sports on global television. This is Talk Sport right here, and of course, it is the 24th day of September 2024, and we are going to take a quick look at some of the latest developments from the world of sport this morning. It's amazed me. I know you will also be amazed at what is happening from the world of sport, especially the rand leader game. The way it's actually going, the earnings are enormous. What people are earning is enormous, as a matter of fact. Let's quickly look at what is happening to Neymar. As a matter of fact, I want to talk a little bit about what Neymar is earning. My God, you will be shocked to know. But then there is a question about what they are being paid in China compared to other leagues around the world. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course, I will be doing Talk Sports this morning. Not alone, I got a guest in the studio, and he's going to add in his voice to the conversation, doing a little bit of analysis from the stories that we have in the world of sports today. Joining me on the conversation in the world of sports today is James Abang. Good morning, James.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning.
Well, it's good to have you today. I want us to talk about Neymar a little bit, looking at the earnings of Neymar. As a matter of fact, let's look at these. Neymar's 2-year contract with Al Hilal includes, this is what Neymar will be getting apart from his normal pay. He's going to be getting 80,000 euro bonus for every Al Hilal win. Then he's going to be getting 500,000 euro for every time he makes a post that promotes Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian team is so competitive, and this is what a lot of people are getting. But then, looking at how juicy this rand leader game is, do you think it will bring distraction to other games, or you feel it is normal? James?
Yeah, actually, I believe that it is normal, right? Yeah, it won't bring any distraction. Yeah, that is what I think.
But what do you think will happen to other games around the world?
Actually, it may give them more. It may improve their, it may improve their work. It may improve them. It may give them more courage to do more.
Yes, it's going to give them more courage to do more, and a lot of people are going to up their game so that they can actually get into leagues that are competitive. But then, if you're a professional in the rand-leader gamer, you will know that yes, so many things will be in there for you. Let's take a quick look at things happening from around the world, and as a matter of fact, a quick look first of all at some of the latest developments from the world of sport, beginning from Manchester United Sports, as they eye a respite from domestic woes in Europa League. Manchester United and of course Tottenham Hotspur kick off their Europa League campaigns this season, hoping to put disappointing starts to the Premier League season behind them. Then, as I speak with you right now, Erik ten Hag's United have already failed to show something that I say real improvement. So far so good. If you ask me, that's what I feel, and that's what the fans are actually complaining about, because they feel Erik ten Hag's United have not really shown any serious improvement from a miserable season last term. You know how Manchester United actually ended last season, how they ended, and this year seems not to be going towards a different direction, but the same direction. But some persons are saying it is too early to have identified that, because as I speak with you, they sit outside the top 10 already domestically with just 7 points from 5 matches. The Dutch manager narrowly clung on to his job despite leading the Old Trafford Giants to their worst ever Premier League finish of 8th last term. Now, let's look at this. As a matter of fact, largely thanks to a surprise FA Cup final, at least that victory over Manchester City is something to talk about. A goalless draw at Crystal Palace last weekend snuffed out some of the positivity that was being garnered from the 3-0 win over Southampton and League Cup thrashing of Barnsley. Let's also remember that Erik ten Hag insists his team are progressing no matter what happened. He said his team is progressing. I've already had this conversation with someone who also say, well, Manchester United are progressing. Before we still continue to talk about Manchester United, do you see Manchester United progressing, or you feel, well, they are not doing well like some persons are saying, but the coach who is in charge of the team said they are doing well, that they are progressing?
Manchester United are progressing, and since the coach have said that they are progressing, there's nothing to doubt about it, and that is what I think. They are progressing.
Manchester United are progressing. Okay, Manchester United are progressing. As a matter of fact, Manchester United are back in revamped Europa League after a disastrous Champions League, just like James have said, and their performance last season that saw the three-time European champions finish bottom of their group. Well, as a matter of fact, that is for Manchester United. Moving away from there, let's talk about other things from the world of sport. This one is coming from Aliko Dangote. Hey, someone may be thinking, Ramsey, you're talking sport. What does Aliko Dangote have to do with your sports show this morning? Because everyone is talking about refinery, Dangote refinery. If you want to hear about Dangote, some persons want to hear the business aspect of him. But we gotta know that, of course, he is a sport-loving fan, and of course, he is an Arsenal fan. Where are the Arsenal fans? Where are you guys? Come on, thumbs up to you guys. You got Aliko Dangote as one of you, and he is a full supporter of Arsenal Football Club. The president and chief executive of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has expressed his regret. Oh no, if to say I know, that's what we call regret. I just tried to do a little pigeon. As a matter of fact, he said he's regretting for not buying Arsenal when his interest lies with owning a football club. He said he wished he had bought the English side club when the team was valued at around $2 billion. Francine Lacroix in New York, the billionaire business mogul, explains that he missed out on buying Arsenal by committing his resources to the refinery project, and he said he think he has passed. All right, that is Aliko Dangote. Well, let's go to a quick break. When we return, I will be asking James if he feels Aliko Dangote, because this is not business we're talking about, will he be able to manage the club? That's the big question. Or he will put somebody there to manage the club, but then he will remain the CEO who also have a say in the club. After this break, we'll talk more about that. right, it's so good to have you right there on Talk Sports today. Let's begin talking about Aliko Dangote regretting why he didn't buy Arsenal when the time was available to him. But then, James, Aliko Dangote is known for someone who is actually an entrepreneur. You know, he does business. He has a lot of companies, a lot of products, including just the refinery that he built. But then, let's talk about this. Buying Arsenal. If he buys Arsenal, do you think he will be able to manage it?
Actually, no. Kai, I don't think so, because Arsenal is a big team. Actually, despite he's the richest man in Africa, yes, it will be very difficult for Aliko Dangote himself to at least to manage Arsenal. Truly, despite he's the richest man in Africa, expressed interest in buying Arsenal Football Club in the past. However, his plans to purchase the team have been put on hold.
Okay, yes, actually it's been put on hold because his interest was not really there. All right, moving away from there, let's get to the next story. As a matter of fact, EPL Manchester City star talking about Rodri to miss rest of the season after his ACL injury. That's a very, very big blow for Manchester City in this campaign period. As star midfielder Rodri has been ruled out for the rest of the season following a severe knee injury sustained during Sunday's match against Arsenal, according to reports from the media. Rodri, as I speak with you, tore the anterior cruciate ligament. That is what I called ACL, anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee during the game. Seriousness of the injury was confirmed after medical examination conducted yesterday morning, and it was so unfortunate. My God, he is going to be missing in action for Manchester City. But someone would say Manchester City have a lot of players. Do you think Rodri is going to be missed in Manchester City because Manchester City have a lot of beautiful players? Someone even said his own mother, even if they take him to go and coach Manchester City, they will still win games. James, what do you think?
Yeah. I think that he is going to miss the game because actually he go on serious injury actually, and he must surely be fit before he go on the game. So I believe he must surely stand firm. He must surely get well. He must surely recover from his injury before he go back to the pitch.
All right, he must surely at least get well, recover, be fine, do some training, do some exercises before he returns back. That's according to James. But then Manchester City will definitely miss him in action, according to my guest in the studio today. All right, I'm moving away from there. Let's talk about other things happening from the world of sport. As I speak with you, Arsenal fans are confident of EPL title after 20 years. I remember the situation of Arsenal. They were always coming very closer to the title, but they never got it. This time the fans are so interested, they are so keen, they are so curious that Arsenal is going to win the EPL title after 20 years. My God, how possible could that be? Looking at the actions from the Premier League, a very competitive league around the world, after displaying the strength of character against the champions Manchester City in a breathtaking 2-2 at the Etihad Stadium. Arsenal fans are confident that the London club have what it takes to actually win the English Premier League title. With just 5 games in the 2025-2024-25 season, of course, last season the Gunners were actually coasting to their first EPL title in 20 years, but fell short. As someone said, they are always escorting the winners to the door of the winning the title, but they never get into winning the title, and that has been for a couple of times now, including last season. But then they fell short a bit. They tried just to make it last season, but they couldn't make it. Just 2 points behind Manchester City, who won the title with 91 points. Just 2 points. Oh my God! Arsenal not try, but nearly does not kill the bed. But now I think it's so good that the fans are actually anticipating another wonderful time again this season. After 20 years, just 2 points are behind the winner. Last season, talking about Manchester City. Let's see what is going to happen this season. Mikel Arteta, men have once again started the season like a house on fire, winning Manchester City. Well, in that game is something commendable, but does that give them the guts to say they will win the title? For me, it is still very early, like a house on fire. That is what Arsenal is taking off with this season, and they were just very close to claiming the famous victory away to the champions, but had their hearts broken and shattered and scattered by John Stoner last minute equalizer, or else Arsenal would have made a statement at Etihad, and that has served as a very slaughtering for me. It's a struggling slab for Manchester City over the years with visitors securing points and thereafter far between the post. But as it is right now, Arsenal were a whisker closer to securing a win on the hollow turf, despite playing more than 50 minutes of the encounter with a man less, because as a matter of fact, one of their player was actually red carded, and he had to leave, even though the coach was so angry about that it was not good. A lot of persons actually faulted that sent off of the player. The second half saw City have 28 shots on goal as against one by Arsenal, while the home side had 88% of the ball, for which Bernardo Silva and of course had a big dig at the Gunners. Looking at Manchester City's game that they won, that one has given them the impetus. It has given them at least the enthusiasm, and it has given them at least the focus that they could also win the title this season. Remember, last season they were just 2 points behind the winners, Manchester City. Everyone even gave it to Arsenal last season, but then I think they really try. What are you thinking of Arsenal? Will Arsenal be able to win this title 20 years after, looking at their performance right now, James?
Yes, they can. Because if you observe what happened, is it on Sunday?
Yes, on Sunday.
Manchester City versus Arsenal. Actually, Arsenal put a smile on my face, and also.
Are you an Arsenal fan?
No.
Okay, thank God that. But which club are you supporting?
I'm a Real Madrid fan.
Real Madrid. Oh, you are even. Okay, you're in Spain.
Actually.
All right, go ahead.
The Arsenal team are not the Arsenal of before. Yeah, now Arsenal are improving. Actually, that what surprised me that yesterday, despite the goal of Erling Haaland, it was so good. And actually, Haaland is one of the dangerous player in Manchester City, and also is one of the best player in Manchester City. So after he scored that goal, the Arsenal team keep putting more strength. They keep pushing. Yeah,
the pressure was much. I actually saw that pressure too, but then the way the match actually ended, I think they never saw it coming, James. They never saw it coming. So I don't know, but then winning the EPL was a possibility.
Actually, what I see there is what I see there is, let me
What I'm even thinking is that Arsenal may come up with something different at the end of the day, because the way it's going right now, Arsenal are very, very serious with the game this time. Liverpool, Spurs, Scouts, Lookman, English Premier League Giants, Liverpool, Newcastle, and of course Tottenham Hotspur have sent their scouts to watch Atlanta forward Ademola Lookman ahead of a potential movement. We'll talk about that after the break. Let me go on a quick break. After this break, when we return, I will talk about more coming from the stable of Ademola Lookman after this break. Welcome back. It is still Talk Sport live on your screen on this beautiful Tuesday morning. What else would I have done without you? It's good to have you right there. We are doing it together. It is you and I on the show alongside with James. Now we're talking about Ademola Lookman, the only man from Nigeria who is part of the Ballon d'Or. Well, as a matter of fact, the Atlanta forward Ademola Lookman ahead of a potential movement next summer. A lot of clubs are coming for him right now. You know, when the ovation is high, when you are doing well, a lot of people would want to come for you. I will always say success has many brothers. The failure is an orphan. Now remember, according to what is coming, the details coming from the media and from his stable is that the EPL trio had their scouts in attendance during the UEFA Champions League between Atlanta and of course Arsenal last Thursday to watch the Nigerian international Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool and Arsenal, and of course Newcastle United has scouts watching Ademola Lookman. Not just him and Edison too. That was in the midweek. Both Edison and Lookman were strongly linked with move during the previous window. Both Atlanta head of shooters, however, interest still remain the same. The interest coming from this club still remain the same. My God, Ademola Lookman Leaving Atlanta. Where should be his next destination? The Nigerian guy. James, let's talk about our own brother a little bit. We may not even talk about Edison a little bit. We may not even talk about him, but Ademola Lookman, he's the only player from Nigeria who is being nominated in the Ballon d'Or. And as it is right now, a lot of clubs in England is coming for him, and you know how competitive it is for him to go to England. As a matter of fact, what do you think about these people coming, these clubs, Liverpool, Arsenal, English clubs coming for Ademola Lookman?
Actually, what I think is that Ademola Lookman, as a professional footballer, one of the best player in his club, Atlanta, right? Yeah, actually, they need him. They need him because Ademola Lookman is an extraordinary player. If you can check out what happened in the AFCON, African Cup of Nations, actually, Ademola Lookman always show up himself, always use any little opportunity that he have. He always make good use of it. And as I can see, as for me, Ademola Lookman is one of the best player in the Nigerian in the Nigerian national team. Actually, I know you may be surprised and say about Victor Osimhen and others. No,
I was actually surprised. Yeah. I was actually surprised, but then he's good. He's good. I'm not disputing that fact. If you say he's the best, you are not wrong, because everyone have people who have actually play well to their taste. He's good, and that's the reason he's been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. But then, if you put, I want to put you on the hot seat right now. You are a Real Madrid fan, and one of the things that Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappe have longed for is playing in Real Madrid. But now he's in Real Madrid. Is he performing well to expectation, or he needs to be given more time? And how far do you see Real Madrid doing right now? Because there is always this competition between Real Madrid and Barcelona, especially when Ronaldo was in Real Madrid and Lionel Messi was in Barcelona. But now both of them are not there. But that competition and that rivalry still continues until forever, as the case may be. But then, having the likes of Kylian Mbappe, which is your club and who is now your player, do you see him making any difference? Or what do you think about Real Madrid, and why do you even love Real Madrid in the first place?
Yeah. First of all, in the first place, Real Madrid is an unbeatable team. Yeah, in my own opinion, Real Madrid is one of the most biggest club in the world and one of the most famous club in the world. For them to have somebody like Kylian Mbappe, is a good privilege. And actually, Kylian Mbappe is going to play the role of Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, what I'm talking about is going to take over Cristiano Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo playing. So what I'm saying that Kylian Mbappe, for him to be in Real Madrid is a very good privilege, and I believe he's going to show up himself to the world that yes, he's going to create something better.
All right, that's the reason he's there. He's going to show himself to the world. Oh my God, I can't wait. To whom a lot is given, a lot is actually expected. That is Kylian Mbappe. A lot of people have expected so much from Kylian Mbappe, just like we're talking about Ademola Lookman a few minutes ago, before we actually started talking about Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid. If Lookman is coming to play for the Super Eagles, there is this expectation. When Osimhen is on ground, the expectation. A lot of people look forward to so many things. Are talking about Victor Osimhen, Juventus, plot Osimhen, Serie A return again. What am I talking about? As a matter of fact, the sport fans, talk sport fans, you need to know this, that Juventus, as we speak, is reportedly plotting to bring Victor Osimhen back to Serie A as they look to boost their attack, according to the information information coming from the world of our sport. Apollo Pagini, the returner, giant, will be the return of the giant. You know, Victor Osimhen is actually a giant in the world of sport, but then the Turin Giants have lost confidence in current front man, talking about Dusan Vlahovic, and of course they are eyeing the Nigerian striker as a potential replacement. As I speak with you right now, Paganini revealed that Juventus do not consider Vlahovic to be the same level. It's not at the same level anymore. That's the reason they are shopping for another person to take over from him, and they need a top striker in the Italian top flight like Inter Milan's Lautaro Martins and Osimhen. Of course, in between these two players, it's either they go for Martins or they go for Osimhen, and that's going to be during his time in Napoli. This was on, and right now Juventus is saying we are not giving up on Osimhen. We are just too keen about getting Victor Osimhen. Juventus have done so much, and they don't have a top level first striker. Paganini stated this, that there are two names for Juventus attack so far. One is Jonathan David, the lead center forward and Canadian. So there is also the slot for non-EU player. His contract expires in 2025, but then they are looking for a replacement, and the other is Victor Osimhen, because it is true that he has the clause. But then the relationship between Osimhen and his agent and of course Juventus chief Cristiano Guntoli is very, very strong, and for that reason they believe anytime, any day, wherever Osimhen go, our searchlight is still beaming on him, and we will have him back again. But then do you see it very okay for Osimhen to go back to Juventus, they've wanted him. But what do you think about him going back there?
To Juventus?
To Juventus. That's returning back to Italian Serie A, going back to Italy.
Yeah, there's no problem about it for him to go back, because Osimhen, every club need Osimhen. Yeah. Even Madrid, Barcelona. If Osimhen can,
I knew you were going to call him Madrid because it's your club. Yeah. I knew you were going to call him Madrid.
for him to go back there, there's no problem about it. Yeah, I believe Juventus, they need him. They need him because Osimhen is among one of the top striker in the world. Yeah, I believe so.
In the whole world. Why, I like that. Yeah. That is you there praising your brother in the whole world. All right, that's good. That's coming from James Abanga. As a matter of fact, moving now, let's get back to the African qualifiers, where Libya is going to be hosting Nigeria in Banana. All right, Banana is where it's going to be happening, as Libya have already opted to host Group D leaders Nigeria at the Matthias of Banana Stadium in their 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifying match day 4 fixture on Tuesday, October 15th. Well, I think Nigeria need to win this one so that it will be our independence gift. It's on the 15th, and you know October 1960 was when Nigeria got her independence, so anything happening in October needs to be in favor of Nigerians. As a matter of fact, that's me just being patriotic right there. But Nigeria will host the first leg in Uyo on Friday, September 11th. As a matter of fact, the facility is located in the city of Benin, some 19 kilometers outside the country's second city. Talking about Benghazi, known previously as Hugo Chavez Stadium. The venue is a 10,000 capacity facility with an artificial turf. My God, that's going to be a beautiful place. AFCON qualifier, you're playing with Nigeria. You need to select the best play, because the Super Eagles are one of the clubs, and of course that is well respected in Africa. So I'm not even surprised that game had to be played right there. AFCON qualifiers, Libya is ready to take on Nigeria. In that game, who are you giving it to? Are you giving it to Nigeria, or you want to give it to Libya team?
Actually, I'm giving it to Nigeria.
Before, you know, they're patriotic.
Why not? I'm giving it to Nigeria. Who no like in country.
Who don't like in country? Well, as a matter of fact, everyone is trying to be patriotic to things happening in Nigeria. And as a matter of fact, it will interest you to know that the match in Uyo will kick off at 5 p.m. The battle in Benina will commence at 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Nigeria tops the pool with 4 points so far after a 3-0 thrashing of Benin Republic in Uyo on March Day 1 and a goalless draw against Rwanda and Muvubi in Kigali in the second game. Libya, meanwhile, remain bottom of Group D after 2 rounds of the matches following a 1-1 draw at home to Rwanda. That's a game that was played at the Tripoli International Stadium, and a 2-1 loss to the Cheetahs of Benin Republic in Abidjan. So as a matter of fact, some persons may be thinking that Libya is not a good competition, it's not a serious competition, but if you play, now you sabi, don't play. All right, I'm moving away from there. Let's talk about the women a little bit. Our time is fast spent. We are trying to wind up, but then just before we go, you're already giving it to the Super Eagles, but which player in the Super Eagles team are you looking forward to? Where they say if this player score, but let it switch you. I know, okay, make I not just talk. Just tell me the player that you feel if this player get a goal or if this player perform well, you feel good, you want to give yourself a treat. Which player is that? And tell me the reason why.
Actually, it's Osimhen.
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 So why Osimhen?
Because Osimhen is a dangerous striker. Any little opportunity you give to him, he must surely make good use of it. He's finished, he's beaten, he's run. No, he's shape player. You know, Osimhen is a strong.
The energy.
The energy. You understand? The energy and the striking. Osimhen can score out of the box with his head. Actually, Osimhen, yeah, I believe that Osimhen can do it.
Osimhen will get a goal for us against Libya. That's James predicting the game between Nigeria and, of course, Libya. Let's talk about the women a little bit. Women's Rugby World Cup is what we want to talk about right now as they beat Kenya to the World Series spot. As a matter of fact, the Nigerian rugby team, the Green Falcons is what they are called. They have already edged Kenya on a very technically played game, and the technicality to become the first ever MEA women's team to qualify for the Rugby League World Cup series. I'm so excited. Nigerians are making us proud. Well, from the world of football, we are getting it. That's the round leader game from the world of rugby right now. We are hearing it, and of course, Nigeria and of course Kenya competed in the first ever Rugby League Women's World Cup qualifier in Africa, with the two-legged ties hosted by Kenya Rugby League at the NYS headquarters in Nairobi. In a I see that game was in a very even and fiercely contested series. This is not a little series, so Nigeria should be held at a very high esteem as they won the first match 22-14 on Thursday, then September 19, 2024, before Kenya bounced back to win the second match 8-0 on Sunday, then September 22nd, 2024. Both sides are tied at 22 points beside the other games that they were played, and both of them secure 4 tries apiece throughout of the series. However, Nigeria kicked 3 goals to 2 by Kenya, who also kicked 2 field goals. So Nigeria right now proceed as Africa's sole proprietorship, and they are the sole representative, and they are the only team to get to the inaugural 2025 World Series. As I speak to you, Nigerians are the sole Middle East and Africa representative in the World Series. Congratulations to the girls. They were very, very fantastic, and they vie for a ticket for the 2026 Women's Rugby World Cup against the Americans winners, Asia Pacific runner-up, and of course Ireland or Greece. That is the European group runner-up playoff. That's a very fantastic one. Well, if you talk about rugby in Nigeria, rugby is not like the round leader game. If you even ask some people in Nigeria right now, what is rugby? They will tell you, rugby, what is rugby? They will not even know. They won't know what rugby is. But rugby is one game that is actually making a whole I think the effect and the impact of the rugby game is taking a very beautiful shape. We just heard of the women right now. Yeah. We can also hear about the men. Let me ask you this question. What do you think should be done? Okay, what do you think you can do as an individual, and Nigerians and the government can do to make people love other games instead of just concentrating on football, everybody football? What do you think can be done?
Actually, what can be done is that we need a connection. That is, we need to, by putting people together, putting people together, have a meeting, even in a little organization. We need to organize ourselves, telling one another about so and so game. Maybe even though
that's creating awareness to tell people that this game exists. This game exists.
Yeah, making people to be engaging in it. Tell them on how to play it, on how to go on it. I believe once we do such a thing like that, I believe that we may make other people to love other games. Yeah.
All right, that's beautiful. We may make people love the game apart from the round leader game if we actually create awareness and let them know that this game exists, and of course what they will get out of it, because Nigerians, any team where profit no day inside, you see people running away from it. But the truth is that every game, every sporting activity has its own pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages. Moving away from there, Nigeria reached under 19 Cricket World Cup qualifier semi. Nigeria took another step towards picking Africa's second ticket to the 2025 ICCU Under-19 Women's World Cup in Malaysia by upsetting bookmakers, and that's a very fantastic one. I'm so excited about that. Then moving away from there, let's talk about other things happening from the world of sport, as I have so many things to talk about today. But then some persons have advised Joshua to resign after the knockout, after the big blow that came on him. That's from the world of boxing right now. Retire now. Joshua was advised to retire after WBO scores two-time heavy weight world champion Anthony Joshua has been urged to retire. But he said, well, I can do it. I am not close to retiring right now. But then he has been advised to retire from the world of boxing so that he can take a bow. But he came out to say, I cannot retire right now. I cannot retire. Joshua retiring now. Don't you think it's too early?
Yeah, it's too early for him to retire now. Yeah, I believe Anthony Joshua have a long way to go. Yeah, he have a long way to go, and he have more title to win again. So there is a reason why he said that he don't want to retire now. So in his own understanding, maybe he have a lot to achieve as time goes on. Yeah.
All right. He has a lot to achieve as time goes on, a lot of title and maybe a lot of other fights to be fought. That's going to be the size of the sporting activity today. That's going to be the size of the sport news, the developments from the world of sport on Talk Sports this morning. Thank you very much, James Abang, for coming on the show. Well, as it is right now, let's call it a wrap. We'll come on your way again, same time, same station tomorrow, and it's going to be a very fantastic time from the world of sport. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now.